This is all developing within the last 2 hours. We got this picture from Wink News viewer Kelly Long on the Wink News Facebook page. You can see that thick black smoke and the large flames coming up from the crash site. This happened right off of Metro Parkway in Fort Myers. Right now, we are awaiting a press conference that's supposed to be starting here any moment to kind of update on this plane crash. But we kind of want to recap what exactly we've been dealing with for the past 2 hours. We first got this call right around 8 o'clock this morning. And we did get a tip emailed into the Wink newsroom describing how this plane, this is an example of the plane that was involved in the crash. This is not the actual plane, but a person who was at the airport this morning emailed us saying that he saw this plane taking off, and according to him, it was taking off at a very shallow angle. And based on somebody with some good knowledge about how these planes are supposed to take off, they need to take off at maybe a steeper angle when they're getting off of the ground to increase that lift. And after those issues, this is how the plane ended up coming to crash shortly after taking off at Page Field. At least 13 buildings were damaged. Crews working through the night on both of these fires to make sure you stay safe. And we have live team coverage of these fires and how the weather could be affecting them today. We have meteorologist Mary May standing by with those conditions. But first, we want to head out to Wink News reporter Jessica Alpern. She is live with Collier County. Now the club's manager says the fight started while the victim tried to leave the parking lot. Take a look at this exclusive video that Wink News obtained from the incident. Police say one of these three men is described as being in their 20s. So this morning, Wink News is on fire watch. Right now, fire crews are working to contain this large mulch fire. We just got this brand new video in from the scene from Immokalee Fire Control District. You can see the smoke being blown by the strong breeze this morning. Crews have been working since overnight to get this fire under control. They are trying to keep the flames within the property as they brace for high winds and what they're expecting to be low humidity. Officials tell the Corkscrew Sanctuary is on alert for the smoke, and they are closing the Shady Hollow walking trails. You can count on Wink News to get you more details as soon as the fire department confirms. But, Mary, you can see the smoke in that video being blown for miles. I just checked with my friends in Fort Myers Beach. They say they can smell the smoke. Yes. And it's because of the wind. So can you see here? That's the top of a car sitting in a road that was submerged. This is on Littleton Road in North Fort Myers. Meteorologist Zach Malak, I got to know. Am I going to need this today?
Not for today, for tonight.
Tonight.
So if you have outdoor plans for the morning.
If you live in Lee County, all of these areas shaded in red, they're near the water. That's evacuation zone A. They're the most vulnerable areas to storm surge and flooding. Well, it's a cloudy day across parts of southwest Florida. You're looking live at our Hyatt Regency Coconut Point Hotel sky cam. You can see the gray skies there. So what can we expect as we head into this weekend? Wink News is the weather authority, and meteorologist Scott Zedeker is tracking some rain right now. The effort to make texting and driving in Florida a primary offense just got some major support. Think about getting a ticket every time you reach for your phone in the car. Wink News reporter Jessica Alpern is in the Wink News live drive in Fort Myers with that story. Nobody was hurt in this massive high-rise fire. It happened in an apartment building in Dubai overnight. People had to evacuate in the middle of the night.
Wink weather on the ones.
You know, there are some days I just want to save my money, but other days I wish I had a boat, because it looks like today would be a good day to use it. We're just 2 days away from seeing an event that hasn't happened in almost 4 decades here in the U.S., that total solar eclipse. And if you haven't had a chance to find these solar eclipse glasses to safely watch it, well, this next story is going to show you a safe alternative right here in southwest Florida.
Channing, when we get back to the studio, I want to see your headstands, all right? Be ready for that.
I'm going to go practice right now. Just hang on. No, just kidding. All right, we're going to be right back with another look at your weather on the ones forecast. Well, now this morning, something that you've probably been packing in your lunchbox since you were a kid could be as bad for you as cigarettes. We're all busy returning to work and running to school and just being with the kids, but as Wink News Call for Action reporter Lindsay Sablon explains, these next 2 minutes could make a huge difference for the overall health of your kids. Well, I would buy some hash browns because Andrew has been eating hash browns in the studio all morning, and now I'm hungry for some hash browns. And there's always something to do in southwest Florida, and joining us in the studio this morning is Gina Birch. She is telling us what's going on around town, some fantastic weather for everything that's happening today.
Oh, yeah. I hear you're a singer, too.
A little bit. So well, it's go. You start on go.
Go.
Go, 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 go.
Yep.
It's a little bit lower for me, but...
Go, 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 go. Yep.
Okay. For the first time, families return to what's left of their homes after devastating fires in southwest Florida, and the threat is not over. Plus, this man is accused of impregnating a young girl, the one piece of tech that helped deputies track him down. Also new, we are hearing from the officers who saw this citizen demonstration turn deadly. What went wrong in their words. And new video, moments after a plane slams into the ground with two young boys inside. We have footage of the aircraft as it goes down, all new tonight.
Live from Southwest Florida's news leader, this is Wink News at 6:30.
Off the top at 6:30, this weekend's weather helps firefighters get a better handle on these flames. Now, these are some of the devastating scenes neighbors are coming home to. Homes and livelihoods reduced to rubble.
Just realizing the enormity of the loss, it just is overwhelming.
The fire in Collier County is 65% contained right now, but tonight's winds are threatening to undo a weekend's worth of progress. You can see the flags whipping over at the Emergency Operations Center. Let's start with our team coverage with Wink News meteorologist Scott Zedeker. Scott, these winds playing a big role in the fire right now. Thanks, Scott. Well, Wink News cameras were there as families returned to this home destroyed in the Golden Gate Estates area for the first time. One of the four lost in this 7,000-acre fire. That home is on Kearney Avenue, one of the areas evacuated when the flames closed in on Friday. Wink News reporter Jessica Alpern picks up our team coverage from there. And new in Lehigh Acres for the first time, we are hearing from a couple who lost their home to a fire here. This is all that's left of their home of 8 years. They barely made it out with their lives, but they say they didn't have insurance. The Red Cross put them up in a hotel until Friday. But after that, they don't know where they're going to be staying. When we asked how they feel about the person, whoever it was, that threw the cigarette out that caused that fire, she told Wink News she hopes they have nightmares about what they've done. And back in Collier County, animals at two separate wildlife preserves are back home after the fire. This is video of the wolves returning to the Shy Wolf Sanctuary. Volunteers sent them across southwest Florida to escape the flames. And just down the road, the fire burned through the woods outside of Anyala Wildlife Preserve. This is footage of the Coulter the giraffe excitedly hopping out of its trailer. This man, Donovan Smith, suffered bad burns trying to rescue those exotic animals, and he gave this update from the Tampa hospital today. These local kids are banding together to help their heroes. After hearing news of the fire, they say they knew something had to be done. Over the weekend, these kids from Rafia Preserve hosted a lemonade stand and a bake sale to raise money for the firefighters and the community, and today they surprised Greater Naples firefighters with those donations. Powerful new images tonight showing firefighters trying to catch a few winks of sleep. You can see them here on the blacktop in their full uniforms from over the weekend. And new numbers tonight show why firefighters across the state are stretched so thin. According to fire officials, by this time last year, there were 978 fires statewide. There are close to 1,500 so far this year. In Southwest Florida, there were 49 fires last year, and so far this year, there have been 96 in Southwest Florida. New details about the man arrested on drug charges during the mandatory fire evacuations in Golden Gate Estates on Friday. Joshua Ben's arrest report says he waved down a patrol car, and when the deputy began telling him about the evacuations, Benz allegedly held a bag to his nose and inhaled. Deputies say the powder in the bag tested positive for cocaine. He's facing a drug charge, but just bonded out tonight. And all new on Wink News, deputies arrest a man they say had sex with an underage girl and got her pregnant. Investigators tracked down 33-year-old Marco Gomez and the girl using GPS on the alleged victim's phone. Deputies found them hiding under the floorboards of his truck in a parking lot near the Naples airport. Charges against him say the victim is no older than 15. A judge has not yet set Gomez's bond. And for the first time, we're hearing from the Punta Gorda officers who saw Lee Cole shoot and killed retired librarian. This is a surveillance video of that deadly demonstration. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement interviews show that officers overlooked several steps that tragic day, and Wink News anchor Brittany McDonald now with that story. Now, many interviewed also say this same scenario had been played out with Cole in the same role multiple times before successfully. FDLE's interviews with Lee Cole and Police Chief Tom Lewis have yet to be released.